So it seems Sauron has placed a force field around his missile that's going to blow up the star. Here's an idea. Why don't you beam him inside the force field? That shouldn't be too hard. Number 1. Thank you! But he still tries to talk him out destroying the star in order to get to the Nexus.
In the end, time is going to hunt you down.
It's part of the truth of our existence.
What if I told you I found a new truth?
You know, Sauron, I think you're making it more complicated than it needs to be. You're blowing up stars, killing people, destroying planets. You know where the Nexus is going. Couldn't you just save up your money and be like, shut up, please? My God, that was easy. Hello, Nexus, how are you? Yay! Is everyone's common sense in the Nexus too? But the sisters figure out how to penetrate the shields and attack the Enterprise, who quickly tries to look for a way out.
Effective plasma coil be susceptible to some sort of ionic pulse.
Perhaps. Yes. Yes. If we sent a low-level ionic pulse, it might reset the coil and trigger the cloaking device.
Yeah, I can't understand it either. I'll just sum up what it always is. Data, can we blah 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 the technobabble? Maybe. If we yada yada yada, there's a chance it'll boomity boomity. It's very unlikely that it'll homina homina, but we'll give it a shot and of course it'll work. All hands, brace for boomity boomity! So they pull off the homina homina, and the sisters are now defenseless. Roll the explosion from Star Trek VI to save money. Engage! Now partake in a funny line for the trailer.
Yes!
And we have our McDonald's commercial.
Yes!
McDonald's Star Trek meal available for your kids now.
So Sauron continues to listen to Picard pester him. Hey, here's an idea. Lower the force field and shoot him. But he does eventually find a way through and try to stop him. Yeah, you know what you should have done? Lower the force field and shoot him. But even bigger problems are happening. The ship was hit bad and they have to separate the Enterprise in order to survive.
Starship separation.
Yes, be sure to move the children you always bring on this constantly attacked ship of peace. You know, if I so much as heard a Klingon say a bad word, I'd take my kid off.
4 minutes, 45 seconds.
But in hindsight, we do see the real tragedy in all this chaos. The little girl's bear! No! Oh, she doesn't go back for it. We never see it again. It's not even referenced. They just felt it was really important to show that a little girl lost her bear. Oh, the bear-manity. Oh my God, there he goes! There goes the bear! Oh my God, goodbye, bear, goodbye! Oh, the casualties of war! We'll bury him next to... Now, to be fair, the ship separating is not only a cool scene, but it also leads to one of an awesome crash. These are some of the best effects in Star Trek history.
Well, that wasn't such a chore now, was it?
Oh great, now I ran that out. I gotta see more movies. But Sauron does destroy the star, and the Nexus comes right at him and Picard. They get sucked into it as the rest of the Enterprise and the planet get blown apart. We then see that the Nexus is, in fact, Patrick Stewart doing another rendition of Christmas Carol? Oh, come on, guy, the tickets aren't selling anymore.
Love you, Father. Love you.
No, it turns out the Nexus brings to life whatever your deepest dream is. And Picard's is that his family is back to life and totally happy. But a shadow, whatever that means, of Whoopi Goldberg is there to tell him that it's not all real and that he has a chance to still go back and save everybody.
Well, as I said, time has no meaning here. So if you leave, you can go anywhere, anytime.
All right, I know exactly where I want to go. To the mountaintop on Viridian 3, just before Sauron destroyed the star.
What? Why there? Why don't you go to where you first picked him up, or when you decided to first go out there in the first place? Why don't you go back and save your brother's family while you're at it? What's the about being put back in the moment you already know you lost in? What are you, a moron? Did everyone's brains just get beamed out of their heads?
I have to stop him. But I need help.
Yes, the most physically fit fighter the world has ever known, or William Shatner. Yeah, that'll work.
I'm wondering, do you realize...
Hold on a minute. Do you smell something burning?
By the way, I know a great place that does toupees.
Looks like somebody was trying to cook some eggs. It's all right. It's my house. At least it used to be. I sold it years ago.
So, yeah, as we pretty much partake in somebody's fan fiction, Picard tells Kirk what's going on.
This isn't really your house. We are both of us caught up in some kind of temporal nexus.
Dill.
I beg your pardon?
Dillweed. In the cabinet. Behind the oregano.
Behold, two of the greatest Starfleet captains of all time, making egg! Only one other thing could top off this epic pairing of awesomeness. Toast! We have toast! Ladies and gentlemen, toast! Oh my god, I just soiled myself! So, definitely kind of a strange setup, but it does lead to some interesting conflict. Kirk acknowledges that he wants to stay in his perfect past.
You're a Starfleet officer. You have a duty.
I don't need to be lectured by you. I was out saving the galaxy when your grandfather was in diapers.
You're in diapers!
This time I'm gonna walk up these stairs and march into that bedroom and tell Antonia I want to marry her.
Remember all that stuff I said in Star Trek V about needing your pain and how we should embrace how it makes us who we are? Total 180! I wish I slingshot around the sun years ago and pulled this off. Hello, Nexus. I love the Nexus. No responsibility. I'm gonna like it here. But Kirk starts to realize just how unreal everything is, and that no fear and no remorse is not always such a hot thing.
Because it isn't real.
Come back with me. Help me stop Soren.
You know, if Spock were here, he'd say that I was an irrational, illogical human being for taking on a mission like that.
Spock was going to be here, but apparently they only gave him 2 lines, and so he said, live long and suck it.
That's my joke! First Family Guy, then Big Bang Theory, and now you critic!
Oh, come on, there's enough memes on the internet. What else have I stolen from you?
Well, how about my voice for Big Lip Alligator moment?
Well, it's not like you really need the residuals or anything.
Got me there.
So Kirk and Picard go back and try to stop Sauron together. You do realize that if you never go into the Nexus, you'd never be able to come back and do this properly. And here's another thing. It looks like things are going awry. Why don't they just let Sauron continue with his plan and let the Nexus hit him? They can just go back and try it again, can't they? They can do this for all eternity if they wanted until they get it right. It's not like anything of major importance is lost this time around. Just Captain Kirk.
Get away from that launcher.
I just wanted to go to the So Kirk is lying under a bridge dying as he says his final words.
We made a difference.
Oh my.
That's right. Captain James T. Kirk, with his very last breath, did in fact do a George Takei impression.
Oh my.
You win, Georgie! You win! So he buries him under some rocks. Not sure if they get him later or anything. And the shuttle comes to take Picard back to his ship.
Oh, it will be good to see the ship once again. Oh, Number 1, I gave you 2 orders while I was gone. Don't blow up the ship and don't sleep with anything. I thought the latter would be more probable.
But as we look through the wreck, Data finds one survivor that he holds very close to his heart.
Spot.
Spot will live.
So the ship is destroyed, but the Trek lives on, as they beam themselves out and make their way back to space dock.
Got a Farragut.
What'd you call me?
2 to beam up.
By the way, did I tell you I met Jim Kirk? What? Yeah, he's under a bunch of rocks. Geeks are gonna complain about it for years.
So that's Star Trek Generations. It makes no sense. And that really is the biggest problem of all. I can overlook some of the annoyances as it does have some real good powerhouse scenes later, but the plot threads are so nonsensical that it really does distract. It's all over the place. Some parts are good, some parts are bad. I'm glad I saw it, but it could have been a hell of a lot better. But hey, on the plus side, Star Trek month is almost over. I have only one Star Trek movie left to review. Do you know what that means? Nolan Cara cameo! I haven't seen it at all! Isn't that fantastic? Nolan Cara! No about the little tentacles that nobody cares about! No